team, and didn't want to do it anymore. He actually came to me, let's do a year feud. All right, sure, why not? And he brought it back. He's always cared for people, and he's a great guy to be around. So, on my birthday, actually our birthday, back in 2018, I want to say, he came up to me saying that there was a match at EVO. He was going to just sit there and watch. Turns out that was a lie.
No.
He talked to Tony, I guess, while everything else, which is the promoter of EVO, Evolution Wrestling. He talked to him about having our last match for our feud in a cage. And didn't know it was him, actually. I was defending my Visionary title at the time, and the whole time he's sitting there trying to say, no, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. My entrance music hits, I come out. Promoter's like, all right, you want to know who your opponent is? Yeah, who is he? Rampage Radisson music hits. My heart jumped. It brought a lot to me. It made me feel better. But in a way, he put me over because it was also our birthdays and I was defending my belt. And I didn't really get him a good birthday present, so I think this might be a great birthday present for me. Because, me inducting him into the Hall of Fame. So, Rampage, keep butt out here.
Oh.
Oh boy. Well, I'll be first honest to say that didn't expect to be here in this situation right now. He knows. He's seen it firsthand. I don't ever do pre-recorded speeches. I don't write them down. I go off the top of my head. So that's what I'm doing tonight. So if I forget anybody in the process, I apologize. Trust me, everybody's played a very important role in my life. But the one person that's played the absolute most important role is the good Lord above. So I want to thank him first of all for this opportunity.
Yes.
Where do I begin? I was 15 years old working at the snack bar in Washington Bowl, west side of Indy. I had autograph signing for a local independent show. I had been to tons of independent shows before, thanks to my Uncle Bob, who knew some people. He used to take me all the time, invite me over for pay-per-views. At the time I was a little deprived. We were a little on the poor side, so we didn't have cable TV, so watching wrestling at his house is what we did. Ironically, it worked out well that he lived right next door to us, so anytime we wanted to watch wrestling, we'd go over there. But back in the main story, I was working at the snack bar. They had a autograph signing with Jimmy Valiant. I was working part-time at Western Bowl State prior. I asked my mom if I could go. She said yes. I just got my learner's permit. And me and a friend of mine by the name of Josh Lamb, we both went to that independent show. There's a gentleman after the show. It's a great show. There's a gentleman after the show that was taken down the ring. And he looked over at me and he says, hey, do you want to help me tear down this ring? I thought that was a huge thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this wrestler is asking me to help him tear down this ring. So of course, you know, being a fan and big into wrestling, I said, oh yeah, I'll help you. And then afterwards he asked me, you want to be in pro wrestling? You want to be a pro wrestler? I said, yeah, I'd love to. He gave me his card. The rest is history. Started training and stuff. Had my first match January 15th, 2000. My mom wasn't a big fan of him. She kept me out of trouble. I was not supposed to wrestle that show. I was still training. I only had a few months of training. And there was a bunch of call-offs. It was for CCW. And we were the halftime show. Believe this or not, this really does exist. We were the halftime show for the Professional Women's Football League. So, went out there and wrestled my very first match, which may I add, I am happy there video camera present because that was the worst match in pro wrestling I've ever seen in my entire life. Needless to say, my opponent that night was a gentleman by the name of Rob Kincaid. Me and Rob Kincaid were best friends. We went along, started a tag team known as Locked and Loaded. Last Thanksgiving, a few days prior, he passed away. God bless him. We were a 25-time tag team champion. This is a career that has lasted 20 years. 5 days ago, I celebrated my 20th year in this business. Rob Kincaid was a big influential factor in my career. Me and him were bosom buddies. We went up and down the road, done a lot of stuff, had a great time. The person who trained me, who asked me if I wanted to start trying to be a wrestler, was a gentleman by the name of King Gordon. Some of you know him as the Bouncer. Love that guy to death. The rest is history. I just kind of made my own path and went my own direction. A few years ago, this gentleman right here, I was on, and he said, you know, I'm done with wrestling. And I asked him, I said, so wrong. And we talked, and been friends ever since. Friends for 4 or 5 years, 6 years. When I've been down, he's been there to help lift me up, and vice versa. That's why I chose him to induct me tonight. There's a bazillion people I could have chosen to induct me. And the one person that's been by my side nonstop for the last 5 or 6 years is this gentleman right here. Been in the business for 10 years, which is about half of what I had, and would be not here at all if I hadn't talked him into staying. Where do I go? I want to thank my family for, especially my mom and dad, for letting a 15-year-old kid that really wanted to do something and showed the ambition to do something, allow them to do it. All my family in particular, but obviously, you have to get permission from those two. So those two, definitely thank you. My aunt, my grandma, people like that who supported me. My grandma used to take me to Marion, Indiana to wrestle for EWF Wrestling. And from Indianapolis to Marion is about a good hour drive, hour and a half. So she used to do that all the time for me when I was down without a car. So she was a big influential in that too. My aunt's always been to every big event that I've been a part of. Her kids, everybody. There's some people that's here tonight I want to thank too. I want to thank Bobo for having me here, for making a recommendation for me being into the Hall of Fame, and then it getting approved, and I'm here. Dice Man Ronnie Vegas, he's one of the nominees tonight, so I want to thank him. Me and Rod used to run with him in IWF a long time ago. Mike King, he's somewhere around here, I don't know. Been up and down the road with him. We took him under our wing like I did this guy right here. I want to thank Scott Romer, world-renowned photographer, sitting front row right here. That dude has got me a lot of really good bookings. He's taken me to parties with celebrities in Chicago, and put me on the best shows. I got a show I'm doing in Circleville, Ohio, in about a month. About 20 or 30 big-name WWE and WCW stars, and guess what? I get the privilege of being on that show as well. That's huge. Whether it's wrestling one of those guys or not, any guy would want that booking. No matter that, some people wouldn't even offer to do it for free. Pretty much, I just want to thank anybody ever who has supported me in this business, who has allowed me to do the stuff that I do. Anybody whatsoever that has purchased my merchandise, that has reffed my matches, that has inducted me into the Hall of Fame, that has been my friend, that has been my family, that is huge fans of me. The turnout tonight, obviously, is a little low for the Hall of Fame, but I know the show tonight will draw a lot of people. It always does. That's one thing MCIW is good about, is drawing good crowds. They take care of their guys, and that, to me, means the world. Once again, I want to thank Rob Kincaid, his mother. Her name's Dawn, or should I say Mama D. There was a period of time in my life where I was at a adolescent, I was a juvenile, you know, that age between young adults and adult, and I went a little wild, didn't really have a lot of places to go, and I had made a promise to my mom I would never leave home. So she let me live with her and Rob Kincaid for a while, So I really want to thank her because that helped me put a roof over my head. I want to thank Rob Kincaid himself, as I already stated prior, man. Being him had 15 years of nonstop up and down the road. I want to thank this guy right here for helping me create a DVD. We did a year-long feud. He already told you the end result of that. I want to thank, once again, the absolute most perfect person that I can thank in this entire situation is Jesus Christ, because there was a point in my life where I never thought I would ever be in the square circle again. And he made it to where I was. And ever since then, I have my ups and downs just like everybody. But ultimately, at the end of the tunnel, there is light. You just gotta find it. And that man has helped me find it every single time in my life. Anytime that I've been down, anytime that I've been up, when things are at its absolute best and when they're absolute worst. I also want to thank my fiance, who's in attendance here tonight, and her family. They have really helped me out a lot. The best thing that's ever happened to me since sliced bread. That's the truth. But anyways, tonight I defended my championship against Sean Casey. For all that didn't know, I am the current longest reigning champion in pro wrestling. I've held this belt for over 2 years. It gets defended tonight. So if you have not got tickets for tonight's show, you might want to do that because you're watching history in the making as I defend this championship again. And I have officially made myself the 10th longest reigning champion in pro wrestling. I'm at like 700, like 60 days or something as champion. Number 10 spot was 700. Once again, none of this could be done if it wasn't for everybody's support and the Lord looking out for me above. So with that being said, thank you all. God bless.